Hello everybody, so this is the video many of you have been waiting for about Enphase. Am I done with Enphase? Well, I will answer this question, but there's no surprise. I think you know what I'm gonna say, but anyways, let me get started. So fact number one, before I go for this video, I love Enphase very much. I'm still extremely bullish on the company long term, i.e. 5 years in the future and more. I'm still very bullish on this company. Much of my 95-minute monologue, some of you call it a movie, about my bull thesis on Enphase that I did more than a year back, much of that still stands, aside from the government support. We'll get to that in a second, but to me, this is a mega trend. This is a sector of the future. Solar is the future. I am more than bullish than ever on this, but with a caveat that it's a 5-year out target, more than 5 years. Let's say 5 to 15 years is really the way I look at this. So point number one, I love Enphase. I think solar is a great sector. Point number one. Point number two, like I said, I'm bullish over the long run. Point number three, in my situation, I'm in a tax environment with a wash sale rule. Apparently, per my discussion, many places in Europe, for example, they don't have a wash sale rule. You can just sell Enphase when it hits, I don't know, like $65, and you can buy it right back 5 minutes later, and boom, you get a tax loss, right? I can't do that in the US. In the US, the wash sale rule makes it so that when you sell an asset, you sell an asset for good. You have to be gone for good. It has to be a real sell. That's the wash sale rule. So I live in a tax environment where I have the wash sale rule, so I have to make the decision to sell Enphase, and if I sell Enphase, I'm gonna make that decision. I'm gonna be gone for a while, and then maybe I'll come back. We'll see. Another point, fact number four, is this year tax loss harvesting. Tax loss is tough this year. Like I mean, I don't have a lot of stocks that I can harvest losses on, and so unfortunately, as much as I love Enphase, Enphase is one of the few stocks who's kind of nicely in the red, ripe for a tax loss. So that's my fact number four. And I'm still very bullish on solar in the long run. So keeping that in mind, 2 days ago, I made this announcement on my Patreon. I sold my entire Enphase position at $72, and I believe we're kind of entering another valley of despair for Enphase for a while. So I'm out of Enphase. I sold Enphase. There you go. You have a piece of information that you likely clicked on this video on. I sold Enphase for now. Emphasis on the for now. I'm gone for now. I'm still bullish on the company. I know a lot about this company. I researched it tremendously. I'm gone for now. Let me tell you the reasons why I'm gone for now. So, I may be back in the future. But what are the reasons why I'm gone for now? So, first of all, first reason is rates. It's all about the rates. The loans to install solar, they tend to be greatly linked to the real estate loans. 15, 20, I know there's even some 25 years old loans out for solar. And so the benchmark for these loans is more often than not the 10-year, which is the same benchmark that is used for mortgage rates. If you look at the increase, it's nearly a 30% increase from the September low. So those rates are a major headwind for any residential solar enthusiast, anybody who wants to get into solar and want to finance it, and we know that most of these installs are financed, they're being hurt by these rates, and they're like, okay, well, I'm gonna wait until the rates drop. And how long does it take for rates to move? Well, you can see it took about 3 months to go from a 3.75 to a 4.6. So they move rather slowly, and that increase, by the way, is ridiculous because the Fed has dropped the rates, yet the 10-year is going up, which means that the Fed has entirely lost control on the cost of money. The cost of money is still controlled by the commercial banks, not the Fed. The Fed used to have much more control in the past. So anyways, these rates are not going in the right direction. I'm not happy about that. That's a major headwind for Enphase, and I don't think it's a headwind that's going to change within the next month, 2 months, maybe even 6 months. So as a reason for that, I'm more comfortable selling Enphase right now. Point number 2, tax credits in jeopardy. So this is the one that, frankly, I'm not as connected to. I'm the same as Elon Musk on this. I believe a lot of this tech is the best tech, period, and because it's the best tech, period, there's really no need for tax incentives. I actually believe solar is the best technology. There's no need, in my view, for tax incentives. Much of that tax credit, much of that money actually ends up going to the installers, to the intermediaries, to the people negotiating the loan. It doesn't necessarily go towards the cost of the installs. All it does, in my view, is it raises the install, but in the short term, I raises the price of the install. In the short term, I think this could be a very negative news, and this could hurt Enphase if they were to remove the $7,500 tax credit for residential solar in the USA. So I had no take on this, so I asked Grok what Grok thinks about it, and Grok thinks that the new admin is very anti-solar. He called the Green New scam, the IRA. Anyways, X seems to believe that there will be an effort from the new administration to eliminate the $7,500 credit for residential solar as well as for cars. So there could be a little headwind on this for Tesla as well. But that's temporary. Right? That's temporary. Tesla, I don't have to ask myself, because I'm way in the green on it. So not selling it. But this one could really hurt Enphase if you're removing the $7,500 tax credit. So I had no take on this. It seems like AI thinks this could be going away. Even if it doesn't go away, the news cycle, it's all about the news cycle. What if you get a bunch of news about this for 3 months? Well, that's going to hurt the value of the stock. I maintain my take on the manufacturing incentives. I don't see those going away. Trump loves manufacturing. It's all about giving money to the manufacturers. I don't think manufacturing incentives are going away. Enphase is still going to be printing money on the manufacturing side of the microinverters. And yes, I know that Enphase is not just the USA, but if you look at the last quarter, Europe is actually in a slowdown. It showed a slowdown in Europe and a rebound in the USA of all places. So it doesn't seem like we are doing that much better in Europe. So that's my point number 2. The tax credits are in jeopardy in one way, shape, or form. Point number 3, which is, in my view, as a long-term investor, this is the most concerning point. Is Powerwall 3 too compelling of a product? Did Tesla find the sweet spot to create a product so compelling that they make both Solar Edge and Enphase irrelevant? Did they find that product in Powerwall 3? Because Powerwall 3 is a hybrid solution with a central inverter, so you don't have the benefits of 25 years warranty, redundancy, all of these benefits that you have with microinverters. You don't have it, but they still remove some of the negatives, which is the shadows, which is the cable management. They reduced this incentive by having 6 strings. So you have 6 strings for solar inputs. So one way to think of a microinverter is kind of 6 decentralized microinverters in one point. So it's not a microinverter, it's a central inverter, but you have decentralization of those inverters at the panel level and not under the roof. Now you still have those optimizers to put on, but optimizers have always been an issue for Solar Edge. They've always had to put them on. Enphase, the solution of Enphase is tougher to sell, in my view, when presented with a Tesla Powerwall, which has some of the benefits of a DC coupled installed in association with some of the benefits of Enphase. So I think this could take significant market share, and we know that the next gen battery for Enphase is being rolled out, and we have to see how compelling it is compared to the Tesla Powerwall. So these are the 3 most salient reasons as to why I am selling and I'll be out probably for many, many months. We'll see if I get back in or not, and we'll see if there's a better entry point or not. Let me conclude with some lessons from this, and the lessons are very important. The lessons are, to me, and this is going to be a theme of 2025, a solid business, the success of a solid business to me is going to be tied to millions of decision makers. I don't want my decision maker, my businesses to be influenced by just a few decision makers. And if in the case of Enphase, living in a fiat world, operating in a fiat world, the solar buyer's decision is just a tiny portion of a decision. The decision is largely influenced by big decision maker, handfuls of big decision makers. In this case, and that's true for Enphase, that's true for solar in general, that's true for much of real estate, it's Jay Powell and the interest rates. One person has the power to stop entire industries by, I don't understand why the rates are still so high. I just don't get it. I just don't understand. It's like someone is trying on purpose to crash the economy. I don't understand it. But anyways, that's one single decision maker that can hurt an entire business, and to me that's the biggest hurt. And then you also have, of course, political opportunities. Enphase was partially a political opportunity, and new administration come, and the political opportunity goes away when new administrations come. So, by the way, I'm fine with political opportunities going away, right? IRA bill going away, I'm entirely fine with that because that's the people voting. I mean, it could have gone another way, and people could have said, we're going to double down on solar. In an alternative reality, Enphase could be 200 right now, and we would have had maybe another situation where, new incentives are going to be voted or something. Now, that didn't happen. It's for the better because the stock that's really benefiting right now is Tesla from the new admin. So I'm very pleased about the situation. But I'm just saying, whatever happens to the political opportunities and political help incentives, tax incentives, not a problem with that. It's people voting. What I will always have a hard time is the cost of money being defined by a geriatric unelected committee and chair, because there is no election going on. You're appointed. It's an appointment, and you see the new admin doesn't want to have Powell stay there. It's very, very clear. There is a beef between Trump and Powell. They don't get along. Trump back in the day said, I regret, I don't like you. He said, I don't like you, not even a little bit. There's a complete beef. And Powell said, oh no, I'm going to do my full term and I'm going to stay. It's like, it's an unelected person. No matter how you put it, it's an unelected person who decides the cost of money. It is so dangerous to investing. And so that's why in the future, I will get into businesses, and I will love businesses where it's millions of individuals, millions of people, consumers, who decide for themselves without a too big of a macro factor from someone else. If I'm bullish on HIMS on Amazon, because HIMS, a treatment on HIMS, is $50 a month. That's not that expensive, and it's just people deciding for themselves. And if you get hair loss treatment, interest rates make no difference whether you get it or not, because it's $50 a month and you like to have like a thick hair or whatever products you want to get from HIMS. It doesn't make a difference, right? If you look at anything on e-commerce, makeup, in the case of Oddity, I'm just throwing some companies that I cover on this channel. This makes no difference. If you're trying to sell, I talked about Lovesac briefly the other day. If you're trying to sell a $9,000 couch, then that makes a world of a difference. It's the interest rates what makes a lot of a difference. If you're selling an inexpensive piece of makeup, in the case of Oddity foundation, well, that really doesn't matter, does it? It's just a teeny tiny amount of money. So I like these businesses. I'm growing as an investor and liking more and more of these businesses that don't have single decision makers, don't have single points of failures. And DTC companies fit this very well. I can think of other companies that I cover on the channel that fit this very well. Whereas the actual consumer choosing and the price point is too low to be influenced by tax intensive or the cost of money, which is the story of Enphase. The bigger story of Enphase is the future of this company is largely influenced by tax incentives and the cost of money, things that Enphase does not control. Yes, Powerwall is a threat, but the technical solution of microinverters is very compelling. Microinverters are very compelling. They last 25 years. They're manufactured so quickly. This is in and competing against a technical competitor or a technical product, competing on product. That's something under Enphase's control, somewhat. Competing against these forces, that's not under Enphase's control. That's just single decision maker making decisions. So, anyways, this is my rationale. This is why I sold the stock. I'm still very bullish on it over the long run. Now, the best scenario for me, I'm hoping it drops and I get back in maybe a year from now. Who knows? Maybe I get back in at 40 or 35 in a year from now. Who knows what will happen? But for now, I'm out. And as far as the wash sell rule goes, as long as I can't buy it again, I will not buy it again. I will wait the time that I have to wait. And that's it. So anyways, this was not financial advice, not investment advice ever on this channel. This is just entertainment, hoping you were entertained. Please like, please subscribe. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful, wonderful day.